Is it time, everybody? I happen to believe that it's time to do the damn thing. Good evening, Hideous Winter. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm happy to have you here. Got some, it's been a couple weeks, but I'm still feeling good about it just because of all the things that I've ever done with Link's Awakening. So I'm going to tear into a brand new save file, and the entirety of this stream will be a completion of Link's Awakening. Should happen in about 3.5 hours. That is the aim. How have you been doing, Hideous Winter? I haven't seen you much on the socials lately. I know you passed me a couple of pics lately about some surly coworkers and whatnot, but that's about all I can recall at the moment. Everything else going well for you, Hideous Winter? Everything going well otherwise? Busy as heck. That makes a lot of sense, yeah. Because all that busy time, well, it translates into you not being able to post as much. You got to stay on top of business. You Hideous Winter, you are the focal point. You are the support system. Everything runs through you. You are the underwire. It is my weird patch where I work Tuesday through Saturday and Monday through Friday. Oh, wow. Tuesday through Saturday and Monday through Friday. So they're just, yeah, they're not giving you any rest there. They're giving you back-to-back weird weeks which give you no time to breathe. That's not nice to them. Not one bit. Yeah, Sunday off, that's the extent of it. Tuesday through Saturday, then Monday through Friday, like, but then I get a 3-day weekend this weekend. Okay, so they're giving you the reward before the punishment is what it sounds like it's coming down to here. That's what I'm gathering, if nothing else. Really weird time to give you a 3-day weekend, especially because, like, isn't it like fall break for a lot of kids? As long as it works out for you, that's what counts. Okay, so don't want to waste too much time. I would like to have this, just for me personally, every other weekend is a 3-day. Oh! Is this every other weekend, a 3-day weekend, a common thing for you? I don't think I've ever noticed, but it does kind of make sense that they'd want you on Saturdays because those are big community event days. Okay, that sounds pretty delightful there. So, thanks for that. Yeah, thanks for that update on you, Hideous Winter. I don't think I ever would have noticed. I don't think I ever would have noticed unless you had pointedly told me that you used to work every Saturday, so you're fine with this. Yeah, being able to, I guess someone decided to take some mercy on your soul and give you what you deserve. That, hey, all these Saturdays are eventually going to drive you a little bit bonkers, and it's not good for a work-life balance either. So, let's make sure that we give you what you're due. And, yeah, every other Saturday off, very least, because I know the library still has its priorities. You have to pull people in on a lot of weekends, and that's totally fine. Forever haunting Link's Awakening. So good. Now I don't think I'll be playing this straight through. I'm probably going to take a break after Dungeon 5. I'm not throwing like an official timer on this yet, but as days go by, I probably will stick a timer widget onto my stream so I can better track this. Hideous Winter, we decided that we didn't need 2 librarians on Saturday. We are open 6 hours. Oh, okay, yeah. If you're only open that long, then yeah, by all means, please. No need to overstaff when all you need is the most skeleton of crews, to say the least. And did something not go right? Let me refresh my stream because I can see chat moving, but I do not see the stream transitioning. Padoka Gaming, hey yo, hey. Okay, there we go. Now I see the stream updating correctly. Looks like I'm dropping frames, oddly enough. I'm not a fan of that. Things are looking a little bit choppy and in slow motion. Is it looking that way for you guys? I'm not seeing any drop frames on my side. Maybe it's just me here. One day I'll figure out how to move my little Streamlabs widget down at the bottom right. It's not in the worst place, but it's not in the best place either. Okay. If you're seeing the choppiness, I'm seeing the choppiness. Okay. Sometimes the... Okay, since it's doing that... And... Yeah, even... From looking at the stream, it looks like I'm smooth, but the game is not. Okay. That is important to note. Maybe I do this in a different way here. And I just rip that out entirely. Okay, good. That quieted it down. So I'm going to try an alternate way of displaying this, and hopefully it works out. So let me go. Let's see, will this box do what I want it to do? That it tricked me because it was on a white spot, and it was going to be a while until that white spot kind of reconciled itself. And oh, this looks much nicer. My camera footage is fine without game. With game on, everything goes choppy. Okay. Well, I changed the way. I just now changed the way that that OBS pulls in the game, and things definitely look much better now. I feel like I've learned my lesson when it comes to OBS. That I mean, first and foremost, throughout all of my streams, I'm incredibly cursed when I try to stream from a console. Oh wow, it's still choppy. What on earth is this? It's better, but it's... Oh, Fart Ripple. Good evening. Yep, just working out the bugs and the kinks and all the weird things that that can go wrong. That can go wrong with streaming here. Yeah, here I thought all was gonna be hunky dory. I streamed from my Switch just fine on Saturday, fully smoothly. But now not so much. I'm cursed when it comes to streaming from consoles. It's just OBS really hates pulling directly from the capture devices for some reason, even though it was theoretically made for that, which is super frustrating. File 1 is where I've done all my dirty business. Okay, I'm gonna watch the pulsing of the new game on top, because it seems like it was weird for a moment and then it got better. I'm not, it is truly one of the more fussy situations here. Like this OBS is the app that I've learned best, and I'd rather not move away from it if I can help it. So don't like to make on-the-fly adjustments during stream, but you and I deserve to have something smooth to watch. I wonder, like, because my background is just a GIF. I didn't think it would be that heavy on things, or that it would screw things up. Like, I'm just going to close the game and relaunch it just for kicks. Because I'm watching my own stream come right back at me, and it looks like things got mildly better. I like my background a lot, so I wanted to try to keep it. Hideous Winter, why did they unsub me? I don't know. Actually, you may want to try refreshing, because if you still see that you have the ability to gift a sub, but you don't have access to emotes, that's something that's happened to me when I've watched other streamers. This weird bug that doesn't quite work correctly. And if you sub with Prime, I think you always have to manually sub with Prime. You can't have forceful automatic you can't have your Prime sub forcefully sub to the same person month in, month out. So yeah, so Hideous Winter, if you sub with Prime, there's a reason that you got unsubbed. It's because they wanted. I guess they figured the best case scenario for that is to make sure that you always have the ability to manually control where that sub goes. Yeah, it's a little bit of a pain, and I totally get that. But at the same time, I understand it from a customer service standpoint as well. Yeah, Prime is a butt, but I know you're doing your best. Okay. Alright, OBS, I've attached you to the capture window yet again. Will you play nice? Everyone else is nice, but you always get my sub. Aww. Hideous Winter, you're the sweetest. I feel like, I don't know, is there a Twitch branded collar or something, or bracelet, or some other sort of piece of jewelry that can that can go along with subbiness? Huh. Wow. Padoka, you are a genius, because it is starting to look like the frame rate has improved now that my animated background is no longer active. That's a little frustrating. I'll have to find some other static background. See, it's still weirdly choppy though. I know that this intro is, it's definitely choppy to begin with, but yeah, the chop is back. It keeps kind of going in and out. What is? I don't understand what's holding me back here. This is dumb. This is frustrating. I don't have any other freaking apps open. One thing I might do here, I'm just going to Hideous Winter sub back with the Twitch Prime sub for 2 months, and for some reason my alert box didn't go up, even though I have that active. That's frustrating too. Well, this also sounds like it's a good idea for me to quit Google Chrome. I'm working blind here for a few seconds. So I'm going to quit Google Chrome because sometimes Chrome gets a little bloaty. I am cranking some really absurdly high CPU usage though, 78%. I'm thinking that might be a small contributing factor. I've been experimenting with CPU-based encoding for a bit. Let's see here. Yeah, Padoka Gaming. I don't, and that's the thing. I intentionally I point a fan. I rebooted my computer like a couple hours ago just to make sure everything was gonna be straight here for stream, and yet it's doing this. Or I wonder. Yeah, Fart Ripple, I agree. This is these technical difficulties are annoying because I was so excited to tear into Link's Awakening, but it looks like total butt, and none of us deserve that. Of course, it's going to look smooth here in OBS. I wonder if I can change the encoding scheme on the fly. That would be pretty great. Will it? Like, the video might drop for a couple seconds if it changes the encoder. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to fire up something dumb here for a second so I can have something to watch. Hideous Winter. My box at work has like ridiculous room in the CPU eaten up by Chrome. We had to find a point to replace the computer. It was the one all of us use. Oh, wow. Yeah, lost levels. Why not? Huh. Oh hey, doesn't look so bad now. I think switching the encoder on the fly here. For one thing, I'm impressed that it did do that. Okay, yeah, looks good for now. Okay, so somewhere between the encoder and Chrome finally did me a solid. My CPU usage cooled down, steady down to the 30s here. So, Hideous Winter, yeah, is old and janky. Started out as an XP computer. It's currently running Windows 7. Ouch! Oh my, Hideous Winter. I'm condolences that you have to use such a computer like that. It was probably top of the line a long time ago. It wouldn't surprise me if it was some Core 2 Duo. And yeah, Padoka Gaming, yeah, I totally get it with encoding. Is that I had some glitchy issues a while back with as well when things were on GPU encoding. So I switched to CPU and things were fine for a couple of weeks. Even when playing the CPU heavy PCSX2 emulator for God of War, and that went fine as well. But as I see it right now, I think. See, as I'm watching the stream, it looks okay. I'm not gonna say it's terrible, but those transitions are looking decent, and the throbbing of the cursor between the file select pieces is starting to look okay. So thanks to all of you who have stuck with me on this. Intro is a bit choppy, but much better. Yeah, Padoka, I'm with you here. Yeah, seems like we're fine, because I mean this is happening on an actual Nintendo Switch. It's just the HDMI output being piped into my machine. I don't get why it was being so strange. So I'm going to leave well enough alone. I'm gonna play the game, watching the stream in OBS. I'm going to try to train my eyes to look at the chat inside OBS, so I'm not distracting myself. But so now here we finally are at 22 minutes into the stream. And yeah, it's yeah. So all the fun time is over. Let's crush some Link's Awakening, and yeah. Now that I'm just officially declaring it 22.5 minutes, let's go. Doing normal. It'll probably be 23 by the time it really does go, but let's go. Yes, I will enter my name. And for the purpose of these runs and the fact that I'm putting myself under the microscope of being on stream while doing it, I get to be manic. My biggest pitfall is jamming the B button to accelerate the text and then accidentally selecting the wrong thing, which gets frustrating. Beautiful shield. I'm glad they gave the good old-fashioned Hylian shield to us for this game. Small but very important detail. Loading. Now to just make the most optimized trip down to my sword, because not much happens in this game without the sword. Of course. Enemy RNG smacks me in the side like that, go figure. I'm still seeing kind of random drop frames, but it's like, it is, yeah, you're right, Padoka Gaming, it is bearable. I won't say any percent run yet, because the any percent run current world record is an hour 28 minutes. Yeah, Fart Ripple, love this game's art so much. The way they're like, okay, you know what, we can. I guess it's almost like some challenge that was made a while back. That back in the N64 days, we were talking about, oh man, when our video game console is going to give us Toy Story quality graphics, and well, now we have a game that does literally look like a toy. So indeed, we have achieved that. Now, when it comes to the any percent, there have been some fantastic glitches that have already been discovered by the Link's Awakening community, and the person with the most experience doing the 80% runs is the current world record holder at the hour and 28. They've invented some really crazy, incredible skips. First and foremost that I found notable was between dungeon 2 and 3. On the way to dungeon 3, of course, we know that you must visit Richard's Via, and that you must grab the golden leaves so that you can grab the slime key. Well, they found a skip for that, and the skip for that involves luring a dog out of Mabe Village, and letting that dog kill you at a very specific place, and the dog has to kill you. And you must also have Crazy Tracy's potion to resurrect. And what ends up happening is that the game resets. The game will reset where you're physically placed in the process of dying and resurrecting, so that you skip over the hole, or you basically treat a certain block as a platform. This being a 3D game and all that. But the death and resurrection lets you skip right over to grabbing the key before even doing the golden leaf quest. The second crazy thing I noticed, watching it in real time, I'm not even sure how the setup works, but they managed to find a way to coerce. In Dungeon 8, there's a Hinox that you fight very early on, and they managed to coerce that Hinox to throw you in such a way that you land in an empty version of the boss room, and then you immediately go collect that dungeon's instrument, and off you go. It's totally bonkers. So yeah, there's a lot for me to learn, but the important things for me to get going right now is making sure I have my dungeon routing, my dungeon execution set locked in, because to this day, Dungeon 6 and 7 still cause me some problems, and I want to make sure that I have the safest yet the fastest routes planned for that. I did do some spectating of that world record run, so I can adopt a couple of those things in here, but I'm not fully ready to execute any of the necessary glitches in real time. I'd have to watch it a heck of a lot more, a lot closer. So I can figure out some of those particulars of skips. And also there's some, and as it was back in the original Link's Awakening, as it is now, there are some very interesting routing tactics done in which once you get to Dungeon 4, the entire game gets thrown in an upheaval for its routing. You grab the flippers, you leave Dungeon 4, you do basically everything else, and you grab Dungeon 4's instrument last. I'm not sure exactly the reason for that, but Dungeon 4 is saved for the last possible task, and that is allegedly the fastest way to route through things. So I'm not about to ask questions. There are years, if not decades, of research that went into that, and I'll have to figure out a way to integrate that into my own playthroughs. Padoka Gaming could do 80% glitchless instead. Yeah, that's where I think I want to go here, because I'm not much a fan of glitchless. I feel like there is more to be. I feel like it ends up being a more impressive display when your 80% doesn't have any glitches, because you have to rely on raw execution to make certain things happen. I mean, yeah, it probably ends up being 45 minutes to an hour longer, but there's. I just think about this personally from when I watch speedruns. Like, yeah, it's cool when you can use the game's own engine against itself. I'm not knocking those speedruns, because it does take a lot of skill and a lot of practice, a lot of effort to do the glitches that enable skips and whatnot. But when wanting to present this to the world and just try to get by on nothing but skill, there is something great, I think, in just showing that you know this game incredibly intimately, that you know your dungeon routing, that you know what it takes to defeat enemies in certain ways. So yeah, I'm a big fan of glitchless here, and in improving some of my routing, I'm wanting to make sure that I start the trading quest early, because getting down to Dungeon 1 puts me into an optimal position to get some good parts of the trading quest finished. That is a good Yoshi catch. That is wonderful, and I'm going to go a little bit, do a little bit of risk here, and I'm going to try to snag that purple rupee so I have a little bit more money when all's said and done. Now, I know that light is supposed to be a guide of sorts, but at the same time, just because you have nailed something spot on does not mean that you've hit it. You see the purple rupee rotating like a rotisserie in there? That is the optimal way of pulling a rupee towards the prize catching area. So I just had a very, very fortunate situation, and I just freaking bobbled the buttons right there while I was gloating. But thankfully I'll just make this as quick as possible. But yeah, there is a certain finesse where hitting something dead on is not what you want to do. There are a lot of items where in the trendy game where if you hit it dead on, it works just fine. But the smaller things like rupees, you don't want to do. There have been clips posted to the internet where it's entirely possible even to where some of the larger things, where pieces of heart and secret seashells have fallen out of the claw. It's completely crazy the amount of randomness that gets put into that. Yoshi doll for the baby. Now I have a bow. Padoka Gaming, I think glitches are fun when you like clip through a wall and skip a bit, but boring when you break the game and get right to the end. Yeah, that's exactly it, Padoka Gaming. Thank you. I was having a hard time putting together the best words for that, and there are a lot of runners who play their games a lot that way, who find their skips through levels wherever the level might have a weakness in its geometry and things like that. I enjoy the streams of the runner Smooth Operative. She integrates a lot of that type of strategy into her speedruns, specifically when she's running Tomb Raider. And lately she's been running No One Lives Forever, and does a couple of clip skips that way as well. Okay, level 1 Tail Cave. Now, there's the important part of dungeons in Link's Awakening is making sure that you're going to the fewest possible rooms and routing your way through the small keys as quickly as possible. Here in Tail Cave, there is a compass in the screen to the left, which is intentionally skipped, because when you know the dungeon layout, there's no need. Another important part is, yeah, this room can be a bit of a pain, because our Buzzy Beetle friend there will relentlessly bump into you, and you have to make sure you make your way all the way over to that button. Now, the room to the right, which contains the map, is also skipped in this dungeon to maintain some efficiency, and it's rather unfortunate. Probably should not have relied on the RNG to this room, because the map room has a one-way door, which gets you to this general region as well. So maybe I could have dealt with it. Maybe that can be an alternate route that I do in the future. But I had a decent bat room, so I'm just gonna roll with it. And if I defeat this mini mole dorm, I get a little dollar bills, y'all. And racking up money, routing in your money is an important part of things, because I guess if I wanted to do even more speed ups, then that would involve stealing from the item shop. But I also want to make sure as part of the execution that we talked about for any percent glitchless, is making sure that I route in a sufficient collection of money. And one thing that I have been shooting myself in the foot with in previous runs, I've been making a glaring error in Dungeon 3 in which there is a chest containing 300 rupees that I've been skipping. Oh, come on. You're supposed to just drop in the hole, you fool. Yeah, there's what would be a very helpful chest in the 3rd dungeon that contains 300 rupees, and being able to grab that would save me having to do something silly like a rapids ride to try to quickly grind for a little bit more money. Because as it is, if I'm buying things fair and square, the biggest obstacle is grabbing the bow and arrow, which costs 980 rupees, and the less time spent having to deal with collecting money, the better. So if I can just get it from a chest, that's going to be to our benefit. Now you're going to see me as is part of my own comfort level with gaming, the Rock's Feather will be permanently glued, except in rare occasions, of course. But the Rock's Feather stays on Y, and my only item swapping occurs over on, oh my goodness, my item swapping occurs on mainly on the X button. And it was very nice of the dungeon makers to provide a quick escape route. Now that I have the, whoo, that was scary. Oh man. Yeah, but yeah, nice quick escape route here since I have the Rock's Feather that lets me efficiently exit the area that I had to go. And now I'm grabbing the Nightmare's key. No big deal. The Nightmare key gated in a nice little area to so that you know the game can check to make sure that you have the item that you need. Now it's just this locked door to get rid of this last key, jump over the gap, and then I face the mid-boss. Mid-boss usually is not a big deal. Usually, I say. There's no holes to fall down, and usually you can slash him pretty quickly. Corner him a bit. Yeah, just like that. Oh, this is perfect. Oh, man, that was great. That might be one of my best ever Dungeon 1 mid-bosses ever. That was pretty delightful. So up I come to Moldorm's lair, and the important part is just making sure that I don't fall off. If I fall off, I lose 10 to 15 seconds. It's frustrating. And ideally, I can do in this hamburger monster with his lettuce, onions, tomatoes, and sesame seed bun body. I can do him in two charged swords. Oh god, stay away. There we go. That was a pretty decent Moldorm fight, even if it was scary for a few seconds there. Okay, so I'm at about... I'll have to go back and look at the timestamp when I actually started this freaking game, because, you know, it's obviously not been very long at all, and not been very long at all. I think it was at the 23-minute mark, and I'm now at about 38 minutes. 15 minutes in, 1 dungeon complete. And it's going to be a pretty quick ride over to Dungeon 2 in the swamp. Thanks for the encouragement, Padoga. Swamp. A path opens in the blooms. Now, one of the most obnoxious time sinks here is the forced owl conversations, and there seems to be no way, at least no known way right now, to avoid them, so one must simply button mash through them. And while I am in the region before heading north, I need to head down to Sail, the crocodile, in his house, so I can give him dog food and he can give me bananas. These bananas will be essential later on when it comes to Dungeon 3. What's that? Canned food. Give it to me. That's a really cool bed setup he's got over there. They really jazzed that up from from the way it looked in the original. He's got his hammock, he's got his palm trees, he's got his beverage. So good. Dog food, bananas, fair trade. Yeah, this will completely minimize any downtime that I need. Minimize any downtime or slow down after the second dungeon, especially because after the second dungeon, having the power bracelet means that there's some more setups to do to be able to zip around in the future. One thing that was that has been discovered in the community of speedrunning this is that here in this version it was programmed differently in the original, but here in this version the trigger for the ghost quest is using the ocarina to warp over to Monbo's Pond next to Crazy Tracy. Now, in the original, the trigger was just moving a couple of screens after the completion of the fourth dungeon. So it was more difficult to avoid back in the day. So now that they've discovered that the ghost quest is easier to avoid these days, that's something that I will try to take advantage of, because there's not a material difference in whether you do the ghost quest. The ghost quest is non-essential. It does not give any items that are required to the completion of later tasks. Who's the suspicious-looking runt? I applaud them for giving a little bit of mo money. Now, this moblin, being able to defeat this moblin is... They slightly tweaked his AI from back in the day. He's smart enough now that that if you are charging your sword while he's running at the wall, then he will stop. So one has to play chicken with him and not do any sword stuff until he's in mid run. If you're just trying to cheese him, you will get punished. Bow Wow, my buddy, come hang out with me. And now Bow Wow is essentially our key to the second dungeon. And the owl comes and yammers at us a little bit more for some reason. So I just gotta shuffle my way over to the swamp. Those guys are so annoying, I take the time to kill them because the ways in which they can slow me down are not worth the risk, so I will take the time to kill them whenever possible. And no Bow Wow, unfortunately we are not grabbing secret seashells here. One thing I might still do is that I may still route the color dungeon into what I'm trying to accomplish, though, because there are some really good boss time savers that take place when you have a more powerful sword. Specifically the how much faster it is to beat the dungeons 4, 5, 7 boss. Really nothing like it. You can take a 1-minute battle down to like 20 seconds. And there are rupees here in that chest on the left side of this opening room, which are going to be dealt with later once I finish the dungeon. But for now, just got to take the bare minimum time. There is I believe, the map behind that room that was to my left, which I'm not going to get. There is a minimum of 3 small keys required to clear this dungeon. I believe the compass is in that room to the south, so I will not be visiting that either. Okay, got this small key. I have enough small keys to advance. I'm not going to waste any extra time jumping around like a madman here in this room. That adds a lot of risk, and risk is just something you don't want to do when you're speedrunning, because that opens you up to time loss. And given that I have options in pulling down keys, you know, I'll take the least risky keys. So there's so this current small key I have will open the room to get the power bracelet. Then after I get the power bracelet, there is one additional small key that I will use for entering the final room before the end boss. One-way door. Time to fight a Hinox. Oh, what the heck? This is terrible. Oh, come on. This is frustrating. Throw a bomb at me instead. I don't deserve this. Am I just gonna have to eat some of these? Because, like, I can't... If I die here, I'm gonna be so embarrassed. So embarrassed. But it's also, like, surprisingly hard to dodge those grabs. There's a stone beak hiding inside that chest. Not gonna grab it. Okay, power bracelet. Now the game really opens up here and enables an unusual path to get back to Mabe Village after this. Mo rupees, mo rupees, mo rupees, always essential to make sure that my wallets stay flush with cash. Now, these bollards are really fun, and believe it or not, their properties are similar in the original game as well. They tried really hard to make them behave exactly as they did in the past, but indeed, the fact that you can hang out on top of them truly means you can do some nice things by using them as a shortcut. Now it is time to head to the room south of here to grab the boss key, and this room perplexed many players throughout the years, just like how Sonic 3, I believe it was, had Casino Night Zone with the really weird drums where you had to use the D-pad up and down, even though in Sonic games D-pad up and down basically does nothing. Hideous Winter, gonna switch to my laptop. Be right back. You do that. Thank you for keeping up the viewership. You are lovely. You are delightful. Got the Nightmare's key. So this room. This dungeon has a hint for this room that I just cleared and got the Nightmare's key. The hint says to get the Nightmare's key, defeat the imprisoned Pole's voice, last Stalfos. And of course the game is going to use its own, it's not going to call it the bunny enemy or the bat. It's going to say, what the actual names are in universe. And so, who the heck knows what a Stalfos and a Pole's voice is? That's just absurd. And you have to make that connection in your head. Oh, that's the room that we're talking about. Imprisoned Pole's voice. Like, I guess that was supposed to be the contextual clue that you're supposed to kill the bunny first. Imprisoned Pole's voice, last Stalfos. And then you just have to, of course, reason out what... which is which here. So this boss is annoying in the amount of time that he forces upon you. I'm gonna see if I can get an early hit on him. I think I've done that once before. But yeah, this game has a way of dragging you through the cycles here. 6, 7, 8. Yep, did that as quickly as I could. Can't hurt him as long as he has his bottle. Let me lift. I feel like there's a way to exploit the way that the bottle can get stuck on top of you to try to coerce some another hit without to basically skip another fireball cycle. That would be nice. Okay, I've been wondering if there's a way to get an early hit there, but apparently not. And that's the other kind of frustrating part. One of those two visages, it flashes solid briefly for so to let you know which one it's going to be once he finally materializes. And I've never been able to really reliably get a visual on that. Oh, great! One last insult here. The fact that there's the very real risk of dying after you've defeated this boss. So, yep, not even 15 minutes later, Dungeon 2 is in the books. I believe I defeated Dungeon 1 around the 38-minute mark. It's now in the 51-minute mark. So next up is rushing like a madman through the 5 Golden Leafs challenge, and I think if nothing else, one thing I want to try is seeing if need to go back in real quick and grab some rupees, and then I can do one of the other setups. One thing that I'm wondering if I can do is if I can skip having to talk to Richard and still get the golden leaves to just go immediately to Canalet Castle, grab the leaves, and then make that my first encounter with Richard, so that I don't have to spend as much time. Wow, Bow Wow ate them all in one fell swoop like that, and now here comes an important setup here. A particular warp spot that can only now be opened because I have the power bracelet, and this is crucial here because just south of us, a place I can go now as well, just south of us here is Crazy Tracy's house, and I do have the money. I'm going to spend it. And right next to Crazy Tracy's house is Mambo's Pond, and that was what I discussed earlier, where I wanted to have the Dampe House warp point opened up so that I don't have to use the Mambo's Pond warp because I don't want to trigger the ghost quest. So anyway, oops, wrong way. Oh lordy, wrong way. And I just cost myself like 8 seconds there. Anyway, down I go. Need to head back to let's see, in terms of the trading quest, I have the bananas. Okay, so I can go immediately talk to the monkey. That's good. Oh, but I still need to stop by May Village because I need to return Bow Wow and I need to buy some bombs. Bombs are crucial. Bomb management is incredibly crucial for the rest of the game. Oh, and yep, a shovel is crucial too. I successfully finessed my way into having enough rupees for that, and I'll get some. There's a part of me that really wanted to buy 10 more bombs, but I wanted to have just a few more rupees in the bank in my wallet so that I could so I can get to my next stretch goal here, just to make sure that I've got enough for a bow and arrow. Because once I get to about Dungeon 6, the bow and arrow starts to become necessary. Maybe not required, but certainly necessary in that you're not going to enjoy life if you do not have a bow and arrow. Bye bye, Bow Wow. Thanks for being a good friend. And here's a warp pad. Definitely worth opening up and activating here. So normally I would have headed south already so I can go talk to Richard for his villa and to get the 5 golden leaf challenge. So I'm going to see, this is fully an investigation here. Either it rewards me or either I get rewarded or I just burned like 4 minutes on this theory here, because I believe I was able to do it in the original Link's Awakening. I'm gonna go try to grab these golden leaves right here, right now. No Richard, and just get her done. Heck yeah, monkey! You get these bananas. You deserve these bananas. You're a monkey who knows how to build a bridge. That is not the Monkey Ball monkey, unfortunately. Wish I could tell you that it is. But the Monkey Ball, Super Monkey Ball, is a Sega property. So as nice as it would be to have the Super Monkey Ball monkey, no. But they do sound a lot like the Monkey Ball monkeys. I will give you that. I'm gonna try a swag move here. Yes! Off the Goomba, onto the ledge. Feeling good. Truly a frustrating leaf here because it's not at all obvious that one would have to throw, and that one would have to throw a rock to trigger that raven to come at me, because it's not a mechanic you really see anywhere else in the game either, which is truly puzzling. If I leave their zone, will they leave me alone? Apparently not. Okay, this is costing me some time here. And I'm trying to figure out a way to make that idiot, to make this bomb-throwing whack-a-mole here, to make him a little bit less random. Because there was one time where I caught him in a loop where he kept popping out of the same hole several times with a bomb, and it was really nice for killing him quick. So, this is delightful. Don't have to talk to Richard. The leaves are already there. That's probably somewhere around 3 or 4 minutes saved right there. Digging it. And don't want that to be a problem, so... Another golden leaf. Wonderful. Now, back in the original Link's Awakening, there was never a handy cutscene showing the gate opened. All you saw was the screen shaking for a couple seconds, and then it says, "Huh, it sounds like the gate opened." And you just had to remember that where the gate was and the fact that it opened. And that crazy ball and chain swinging dude over there holds the final leaf. And of course my piece of power would run out right before. I think there's a bomb hiding in these. It would be nice to get a couple more bombs. Oh hey. It's always in the last place you look, right? Being a little bit reckless here. Just a little bit. And it's okay because I have some Crazy Tracy on me, but I'd rather not have to use it. I'd rather use the Crazy Tracy at the very final boss battle, because I will not be wasting any time picking up any pieces of heart either. That's what's essential to this as well. So, got the 5 golden leaves. Now, time to head back to Richard's villa. Ho ho. Five leaves, I want them all. Okay, so you need to do some digging. Buy a shovel. Oh, now I can just talk to him again. Ah, traes bien. Oh my god, RNG frog cockblocked me for half a second. There's a secret seashell in that chest to the left. Knowing where things are is... Even though I'm not going to be collecting things, it's important to know where everything is, regardless of that fact, because you don't want to waste time picking up things that are not necessary to your quest. It's almost like what you hear people, kind of humorously say when talking about jazz or blues music. It's not about the notes they play, man. It's the notes that they don't play. It's the gaps in between that give meaning and reason to everything else. But yeah, imagine using a glitch to skip that entire golden leaves situation. Obviously, would be nice, but I'm not that kind of gamer. Okay. Now into the dungeon I go. Now you're going to notice a lot of skipped rooms here, and the pathway that and off to the right is a small key which I cannot obtain until oh, that was fortunate. But yeah, to the right of the entrance is a small key that I cannot obtain until I get the dungeon item, which is the Pegasus boots. This room must be completed as quickly as possible to get the one small key which this entire dungeon hinges upon. Yes, I do have to collect 4 of these things later, but it's important to use that one key intelligently, because there are probably 4 or 5 places where I could use it and essentially waste it, and I'm not about that life. So it comes down to, when faced with this entire situation, only coming to the right, and then the rest of the dungeon is kind of a piece of cake. I hate that big red-nosed enemy so much. Okay, so the crux of this dungeon is indeed getting 4 small keys so that one can go through the core of the area that's that's right here. You can see 2 of the 4 right in this spot, and there's 2 more to be seen later. And making sure that I'm routing my way through this is essential. And with only 10 bombs in my pocket, I have to make sure that I'm careful, because I have to use 6 bombs to defeat this mid-boss right here. Now, they have modified the behavior of this mid-boss from the original, in that once the boss takes a hit from the bomb, they will move they'll move 4 units, they'll move 4 animations, and it's only after those 4 units will they start swallowing bombs again. So one has to be patient, and one has to make sure to keep track of basically two things at once. Now see, I just blew a bomb right there. And luckily defeated this boss right here next to the door that I need to go through so that I can grab the Pegasus boots from that chest. So that was a pretty decent boss fight. I only blew 1 bomb, so all in all, not too shabby. And now that I have the Pegasus boots, I can immediately go grab the boss key. Immediately grab the boss key because I blew open this wall. Love those footstep sound effects. Love them so much. Okay. Now, these guys are annoying because you basically are playing hot potato with them the entire time, keeping them away from you as that countdown timer on their face taunts you. I'm not going to waste time grabbing the compass, which is in that chest. Yes. Yes! That went well. 2 keys down, 2 to go. Another fairy, but I have no bottle. Sad. I'm not even sure that I'll be even able to pick up a bottle throughout this run. I don't think any of the tasks that I do will even accidentally get me a bottle. But now that I have this, Hideous Winter, is that just my internet or is it janky for all? Honestly, I'm watching my own stream here, and it's looking pretty decently smooth. So I don't know what to tell you. Like, yes, I'm watching my own broadcast, but I'm also watching my own stream being broadcast back to me, and it's coming back pretty smooth. So you may just want to refresh the page. That's actually a pretty common thing with Twitch, especially with the upgrades and tweaks that they've done lately. Twitch has just been Twitch has been odd, to say the least. So if you refresh your page there on your laptop, things should improve, I'm thinking. Now, there was a chest with like 50 rupees that was nearby where I was, but I've decided to route my way around that in favor of what's over here. Oh my god. Oh my god. The worst enemy. And honestly, I'm not even sure where the crystal switch is. That's frustrating too. Oh well, I guess I'm not getting that chest, and I just burned 30 seconds on that. So let's head back. Robert is on Netflix, and I'm installing stuff, so I think I just throttled the internet, but I'll try a refresh. Yeah, do it. Okay, so now I have all 4. Oh, Oh, now it kind of makes sense. Now, yeah, to get those rupees, to get that super rupee chest, I now have established a proper function, a purpose for a small key that is obtained in the room next to this one. Because for some reason this dungeon seemingly has an extra small key, but it is a great way to cover for making sure that you get all of the you can get everything in the dungeon. Come here, bat. Come here, Keesey boys. Sky kitties. So maybe I will route that. Maybe I will route that chest into my activities here once I'm done with this boss. Hideous Winter, I don't imagine internet is particularly fast where you are. love the reflective effect on this boss. It's absolutely gorgeous. The things that they pull off with the switch, I swear. So good. Jumping in! Oh my goodness, not gonna make you a sandwich is here. Good day, good day. Woman herself. She is here to watch some Link's Awakening. You have joined at a great time where things are really starting to heat up. We're here at Dungeon 3 where I'm about to experiment with some slightly new things in routing to make sure that I have the cache. You love that they included the graphical effects here. Not gonna make you a sandwich. Yep. Good evening to my longtime friend. Not gonna make you a sandwich. She is wonderful. Known her for over half my life at this point. Yeah, the ability to jump. Yeah, this entire game is without jumping, this entire game just doesn't happen. It really doesn't. Okay, but now since I have that extra key, oh my god, shut up, owl, shut up, owl. Yes, not gonna make you a sandwich. Indeed, very OG. Very few people. There are a couple of eras in my life that I like to use to describe how things have gone, and one of those eras, there's before and after hair. That's one of the favored ones, and then there's pre and post Seattle, and then you are one of the rarities that who is inclusive of high school. So as much as it looks burdensome to pop in here and do this, the ultimate goal is dollar bills, y'all. So coming back, pretty sure this was it. Oh my god! It was this other, yeah, it was this freaking room right here. Totally blew it. I'm like, I knew one of these two chests. Yeah, so now I'm doing it backwards. Just doing my best here. I've made a couple of other tweaks which save me some time, but it's almost like I'm... You damned dirty little red thing. Okay, kill this. So now I have to come back and re-defeat the skeleton dudes. Like, how terrible is my life right now? This is the worst. Like, I just blew all the time I saved by skipping Richard's villa and coming back here to grab these 300 rupees. But anyway, now that we're done here... Now that I'm done here, it is time to do maybe one of the more complicated routing quests here. Juggling the things that... Juggling the path to the animal village, as well as all the other setups for making sure that the future is smooth. I'm really not a fan of this part. This I think can make or break a lot of runs if you're doing no glitches. That you make sure that you collect items in an efficient manner, that you finish the trading quest in an efficient manner, that you have to do a lot of things right to make sure that the transition between Dungeons 3 and 4 is fine. All the other dungeon transitions, no big deal, honestly. I'm not even worried about any of the other dungeon transitions. It's just between 3 and 4 where many minutes can be lost by just negligence. Negligence and mental lapses. But getting the ocarina is essential for a lot of stuff here, so I'm routing it into this part of my run. and advancing the trading quest is essential too. But one other thing that I'm going to do that will maybe set me apart a little bit is making sure, maybe any percent, maybe 80%, but I want to make sure all dungeons is an aspect of what I do here. So, Hideous Winter, I'm reinstalling all of my Steam games. Good thing I never even had a social life. How many games in your Steam list? Because, yeah, if you're re-downloading stuff on Steam, that Steam basically uses BitTorrent, so it will hammer the dickens out of your internet connection. So, good luck. Okay, so it's like boom, boom, boom. And boom. So, our good friend, the Color Dungeon, originally appeared in Link's Awakening DX. Okay, I have one bomb, which I think makes things okay. Well, actually, no, I discovered once upon a time that I don't even need the bomb, so we'll probably be okay. And I can ignore this room. There's a lot of the Color Dungeon that can be ignored, thankfully. Good Color Dungeon routing is divine. Hideous Winter, out of all your Steam games, which one has the most hours played? I had to practice a lot to get that one down. Swords no match? Okay. Well, let's make it a match. Oh, come on. Sometimes the hitboxes on these enemies are incredibly weird. Yeah, this dungeon basically starts you out by getting you the boss key. Kind of strange, but I don't hate it. And as it turns out, the Color Dungeon has 3 bosses. Just some simple trials, and now I have to defeat everything in this dungeon, in this room, to make it back out. Kind of obnoxious. Kind of. Lost a second there, bonking into the walls. There's another boss. This is where I'm glad I have Crazy Tracy's medicine, because this boss gives me so many headaches. For some reason, he's just the bane of my existence. Cam Studio, Knights of the Old Republic. Good choices. Embarrassing, nerdy, and dirty. Nerdy and dirty? That's like your whole vibe as a person, though. So why even debate that? Jack, good evening. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you there. Thought you had your own stream going on tonight. I know you were weighing very heavily about a couple of other aspects, some more ways to tune your stream, or you had a couple of games that you were thinking about. So thanks for stopping by. Sometimes the inspiration doesn't always hit us. Oh, perfect. Oh, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, fair enough, Evan Jack. For what it's worth, I'll say this without revealing too much. My stream schedule, the way that I've been streaming, my days are numbered here. Things are going to change. I may be able to stream for a third day each week, and I'm pretty excited about that, in all honesty. Because my current work schedule stands a chance at changing, and I'm pretty happy about all the resulting things that are going to happen. I won't be able to have... Maybe I'll do like a good long 6-hour stream on, on Saturday or Sunday or Friday night, but probably shorter streams from like 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Get back here! Get back here. If I whack you fast, I win faster. Going for speed here. Trying to not let him regress in colors. So I just had to like damage boost my way through him. That's the only that's the only way I know how to get through this boss quickly. But the red tunic that I'm about to get is going to make a lot of things faster. Especially, that Dungeon 4 boss is so dumb. Give me powerful red mail. Yes, and I like how it makes you double confirm. Even though I found out from other people who've been playing this that that if you really want to, you can come back and change your tunic color. Okay, so now that I have phenomenal cosmic powers, it is time to actually resume the dungeon questing here. I must make my way. I have to make sure that I give the stick to Marin so that I can get a honeycomb that the bees leave behind. And with that honeycomb, I can do the right things in Animal Village to come back to May Village and get Marin. So, Terran... yes, Mara. If I mix up Marin and Terran, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best to manage that. So now I must forge ahead as quickly as possible to the Animal Village. Right, just enough guff here, just enough gear to make the trek. Da -da 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 -da. Now, it's kind of weird, those objects. Back in the original, they were like, when you ran into them and broke them down, they were kind of like crystals. But now they're like these crazy inflatable bouncy things, which actually makes them a bit more logically consistent than they were back in the original. Because in the original, like, it's, oh, this weird thing, how can I possibly tackle this? That was roughly the quote. And then you tackle through it, and it's like, oh wait, it's this hard object. Why couldn't I just bomb it into bits? And as it turns out, they made the modification to make them rubberized things, which would make it make things stand to reason that, oh hey, it's resistant now to. Oh, there's a setup that I forgot to do earlier. Oh, and I can't use this. I'm forced to use the warp portal now. Ugh. I'm disgusted in myself. I just wasted an entire, minute on this. Because there's a warp portal next to the... Well, actually, right after I grab Marin, I'll open that warp portal. I'll just do this for now. But when I grab Marin, there's going to be a much faster way of getting back to Animal Village. So I have to go the old-fashioned way. Dealing with Link's running momentum is not fun. Yes, let's chat. Let's chat while I mash the B button to basically get rid of you. Current time that I'm aiming for is gonna be about 3.5 hours. So ideally, this stream will complete by about. Let's see, if I started it at about 7:22, the stream should complete before 11, between 10:40 and 11. Between 10:40 and 11 p.m. at current estimate, even with a 5-minute break that I'm planning for. Eventually, I'll do a stopwatch thing, but for now, I'm just practicing to make sure that I've got the basics down, to make sure I've got my dungeon routing good, and that I've got a good sense of where everything is. I'm wanting to make sure I keep that fresh, and what better than making sure that I'm doing it under the pressure of being on stream. Is this my big chance? Yes, it is. It's my big chance to get sub 330 when I finally cut down the video. Let me get a little bit more money here. I like the cute recorder whistle music of the overworld that they did for this. Dang it! Marin, why'd you betray me like that? Yeah, look at those hops she's got. But now, thanks to this cleverly placed thing, I can just go. Come on, give me some love in here. There we go. Warping back to Animal Village. So, well, at 8:32, I've been playing for. Well, actually, at 8:32, I've been playing for an hour and 10 minutes. Okay, yeah, I should very well be on track for having about 2 hours remaining of the run. Give him a surprise indeed. I think I can crank the game volume back up a little bit. And I will get to learn. I'm gonna route in learning the song from her while I'm still down in this region. Oh, definitely don't want to try to chase him down that way. Almost lured me right into the hole. Come on, give me a good placement. Good placement. Decent placement. Ugh, taking a beating here. Oh, nice quick kill. Didn't want to fall down, but sometimes you do. Really not liking my health or my bombs right now, but I'm gonna have to suffer through it. 'Cause I will get a nice bomb refill in Dungeon 4. I will be there shortly. It's unfortunately a lengthy cutscene to learn the Ballad of the Windfish, but it's what you gotta do. I apologize. Need a quick restroom break. As promised, rather quick. So, yes, it is sticking in my mind. Haha. Yes, I fooled her. It didn't actually stick in my mind. Who learns a song the first time ever like that? ₹543, not bad at all. Especially considering the ways I'm going to cash in some other ways very shortly. Not bad at all. Ooh, a heart. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, the most time-consuming part of this run is everything that comes after Dungeon 5. That's a little bit of uncharted territory for me. I've only tried that stretch once, and even though I was able to complete it in about an hour 20-ish, I wasn't satisfied with my performance. So I'm hoping that I clean things up a little bit on this side of things, on this attempt. Because I've been eating my Wheaties, I've been watching my walkthroughs, making sure that I do Dungeon 6 as dirty as I can, and maybe I can do this the right way. So, before I enter the 4th dungeon, the next significant piece of routing is to make sure that I stick another piece of the trading sequence in here while I cross near our good friend Papal, P-A-P-A-H-L, Papal, while he's stuck up here in the mountains. Mo money. ₹600, not bad. Just need another 400. After the 980 rupees for the 980 rupees for the bow and arrow, the next significant purchase is to scrape together another 300 rupees to pay Mamu in the signpost maze to learn one of the songs. And I'm just gonna let you enjoy the sound effects here. Oh yeah, just lean into that squishy goodness there. Filled with energy now. Okay, cool. Yeah, he's leaning back like he just got himself a solid dome session there. So anyway, now I can get buck nasty here on Dungeon 4. This one, Dungeons 4 and 5 are my favorite ones to hit because I just feel like I'm the most polished here on Dungeons 4 and 5. So I just, I really enjoy showing off what I got. Except when I fall, That enemy had the audacity to drop a bomb, a highly useful bomb, and let it sink into the water. That's actually an interesting new thing that happens here in this Link's Awakening is how certain enemy item drops, certain ones will float like hearts, and others like rupees will sink. Like, how is it possible to have an adorable drowning death rattle gurgle? That's pretty great. It's a great accomplishment of this game to be able to do that. So now that I have my 2 small keys, it was a polished fall to be true. Thank you, Not Gonna Make You a Sandwich. I appreciate your commitment to keeping me gassed up, to keep my head in the game. That chest up there that I just walked by is the dungeon map, which I do not need. And now that I have the level 2 sword, those little red slimes, they no longer split apart when hit, they just die instantly, which is wonderful for trying to get past them. Brunch Club representing. Not gonna make you a sandwich. Brunch Club. As much as I love you, piece of power, don't want ya. You will only slow me down. So, get to kill these dudes real quick, and a small key forms, but it drops down into the water. Oh my. I like that they added that extra splash there as kind of it's a great audio-visual hint as to what the deal is with the water, because obviously I still can't swim, so I need to find, so it's giving you a hint that you need to go elsewhere here. Oh my god. Yeah, just gonna freaking damage boost through this here. You are correct on that Brunch Club. I feel like this dungeon is really weird in its routing, that it's kind of, I don't know, kind of a kludge that I have to come over here and then walk all the way back out in order to be able to make the progression here, because it's this weird backtracking that isn't seen in any other dungeon. I feel like it's almost like they randomly placed that chest there to me. I don't understand why they did it the way that it did, but it is a unique challenge. I guess that's their one way of forcing you to kind of traverse the dungeon to assess your eventual obstacles and make things make sense. Yeah, I blew that one. Blew it! There we go. Think of how much longer that would have been if I didn't have the stronger sword. It was totally I'd like to think that the time saves on fighting mid-bosses and stuff make up for the amount of time that I spent going into the freaking color dungeon. Because I did all I could to make sure that the color dungeon was a short affair. Now I have the flippers, and now I get to learn how to obtain the boss key. By this room teaching me the pattern that's in the next room. And those enemies I cannot defeat yet, but I will be able to defeat them in the 5th dungeon. Now I can come over and grab this small key. Yes, the clippers are back. Which clippers do you speak of? Didn't know you were... Unless you're talking... Are we talking hairdressing? Are we talking the basketball team? Are we talking actual boats? Oh, the flippers. Yes. We've got ourselves some flippers. We got owned by autocorrect here. 50 rupees. Very nice. So even though I have a small key, even though I could technically go up there, I don't have the boss key, and that's okay. There's nothing worth grabbing in that chest, so I'm not going to do it. It's best to clear these enemies out of my way. So it started here, I believe, and then doot, and then doot, and then doot. Grabbing 5 more rupees, and doot. Yeah, being able to swim, so worth it. And one-cycling this guy by jumping on him after making him only fall once, an essential thing to do. So now I have the boss key. I don't know, I may want to run back in and grab those 10 bombs when I finish the dungeon. It feels like something I want to do. But now I can use my small key and make my way to the dungeon. There was a skip that existed in the original, but unfortunately due to changes in the way that the physics of this game work, and the way that Link jumps and the geometry of the level itself, that skip is no longer necessary. So that skip that skip in the original means collecting one fewer small key. Okay, one of the most annoying boss fights. He was a pushover in the original, and he's just as much of a pushover here, but they kind of made him harder by the fact that he actually moves around the area and has a lot more hit points than he used to. Yeah, show your aggression at me. Doesn't actually get you anywhere. You can throw your cronies at me. Oh, he moves up. Haven't seen him move up before. But he's dead now, so it doesn't matter. And the heart will appear on the bottom right. Oh, bottom left. How nice. I've been accustomed to that heart appearing only as far away from me as possible. Now for the harp. I still do not understand the speedrunner route of quitting out of this dungeon right after getting the flippers and then saving the second half of the dungeon for the very last thing before the windfish. I still don't understand it. But now it's important to go and get Monbo's Mambo. Of course, they had to make it kind of hard to say Monbo's Mambo, so that I can immediately jet my ass over to the 5th dungeon, because they conveniently placed a warp point next to it. Let's kick back and enjoy Monbo's Mambo. Let's learn this together. Very glad that was on mute. Oh my goodness, that was embarrassing. None of you saw that. None of you saw that. Yeah, they really screwed their pooch on this one because letting me warp to wherever the hell I want from anywhere I want, it allows for some really good optimization, especially now that I think I've unlocked all but one of the warp points in this. Oh no, they stuck me with the ghost quest. Okay, so well, now that I'm down here anyway, I can quickly complete the ghost quest. The ghost quest I have gotten down to approximately 2 minutes, so I'm not even worried, especially because I have the warp points locked in. So let's do this, ghost. Let's get buck nasty with some buck nasty on some melancholy, some nostalgia, some bittersweet memories. Cemetery. Well, good thing I've unopened it. Good thing I've already opened an absolute dickload of warp points, because that means he's zipping him right back to where he needs to go. Just south of Crazy Tracy's house, southwest. There's a secret seashell hiding under that bush, but I shall not grab it. Okay, yeah, I guess I am forced to have a bottle in this. Because I'm not in a position to truly test that theory right now. I don't want to experiment too much outside of what I have in my head. But I think I may be able to complete the rest of the game with the ghost. Well, it might be a situation like after Dungeon 2, where a lot of NPCs will react to Bow Wow being with you, and like Richard will refuse to interact with you, to send you to let you do anything if you still have Bow Wow attached. You have to give Bow Wow back in order for Richard to correctly respond to you. Back down to Martha's Bay I go. And as I learned recently, I don't know why I never made the connection, Martha is the name of the mermaid who we eventually help in the trading quest. Now, quick check of the trading quest. The current item I have is the hibiscus, so that means here right after Dungeon 5, I will actually have all the items I need to complete the trading quest. So that will be the routing after this, to complete the trading quest as quickly as possible, right after the 5th dungeon here. And after I complete the trading quest, I'm set for the rest of the game, because the boomerang, at least to me, is an essential part of the final boss battle. The boomerang, well, back in the original Legend of Zelda, I'm not sure whether this was intentional or as kind of a reward for completing the trading quest, or if they just forgot to program it correctly, but the original Game Boy versions, you would one-hit kill the final form of the final boss if you use the boomerang. That's not the case anymore, unfortunately, because obviously everyone knows it, so they couldn't just give us that easy way out. There is merely a compass inside that chest, so it is being skipped. Yes! Skipped the fourth wave. There's some good fat loot in this dungeon too, so I might be at or near 1,000 rupees by the time I'm done here with the 5th dungeon. It'll be really sweet if that happens. zip my way out of here. Now, I have to kill these guys the hard way still in order for me to be able to get out of here. And they love to face away. They really, really love to face outside of the intended area of your sword swings, and you have to be very... Ooh, that's interesting. The way that they kind of glitch into the wall like that. Ten bombs, I'm good. I'm slowly learning this skill of dropping a bomb, then slashing him, and then getting the hit in. That was something I picked up from the world record runner. That you don't have to wait until he's collapsed to drop the bomb. You drop the bomb, you whack him, and then you let the bomb do its business. Something I probably should have thought of on my own, but that's why we come together. That's why people come together as a community, so that they can make sure to measure this information out so that people can get ideas and test them and share them. But having the level 2 sword is crucial here, because normally if I still had the, or actually, well, having the red tunic is, important here, because otherwise, regular sword slashes with the regular sword would not fly for this boss. I would have to use spin attacks on him, and it's awkward and time-consuming to charge up a spin attack to slash at the boss to get him to get into that fainted state. Thanks for the props on the flame dodge. I'm getting a little better here. This is the first time I've ever been able to deal with attempting this strat, so I'm just doing the best I can with this and at applying this brand new knowledge. Oh, blew that one. Thankfully, his fainted state lasts long enough that it doesn't matter. I'm playing it safe right now. There we go. Now get back near the door. Can't beat you. I'm out of here. Now, during my first trial, I was in this exact state here. I was so angry with myself because I had mismanaged my bomb inventory. What's a fella to do with only one bomb when I need 3 more? Well, this stash of 10 bombs was sitting here this entire time that I could have used to get myself out of this pickle, and I flailed around for a little while before realizing what I needed to do. So, yeah, one of those things. You live and learn. And I'm probably taking the slow route back to where I need to be. Because normally, like, I need to make sure I eventually figure out the muscle memory for save and quit warping, wherein which, as an intended feature of the game, when you save and quit, you are not when you save and quit, the place that you are at is not the place where the save happens. The save happens at the last doorway that you entered. So saving and quitting can be a handy way at zipping right back to the beginning of the dungeon. And maybe I could have used the Mambo song as well. That could have gotten me somewhere nice too. But I will, eventually make that stuff habit. Alright, not gonna make you a sandwich. Thanks for stopping by. You're able to, in this little bit of time, see a whole lot of Link's Awakening happen. So kudos to you. Maybe in your adventures you can let this guide your hand a little bit as well. Thanks for the moral support. Every viewer counts, no matter how long. You're all wonderful. You're all beautiful. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for giving me your eyeballs. There are lots of places. There are lots of talented and beautiful people on Twitch. And the fact that you gave your attention to me means a lot. I appreciate you. Aha! Now it's time to get a really big payday here. Another hundo. Really nice. Now, last time I did this on stream, I was super duper shocked at what I was able to accomplish at one point, because I one cycled the boss of this dungeon, which is a very difficult thing to accomplish, I promise you. So I'm kind of hoping to accomplish that again. But before I grab the boss key, I'm going to make sure that I cash in a little bit more, because there are some goodies hiding over here now that I have a hookshot. Namely, at least 100 rupees, and refilling my health. Don't need bombs anymore, thankfully. Need some bombs for the Dungeon 6 box. It's Dungeon 6 boss, but after that, very few are actually required. Oh, come on. Okay, small key. That small key was essential. Now it's time to dive deep for the boss key. I said dive. Smashing the B button. Promise I was. And this trick. Yep, just knocks off a couple seconds, just a little bit of corner cutting. Just a silly little little pop. Little bit of swag there. Anyway, now to make my way over to the boss key stair, or the path to the boss room, the staircase for it. Oh no, those are not the... I'm so dumb. Those are not the dudes who succumb to magic powder. It's a different type of enemy that does that. Back here. That's the magic powder dude. Come on, fairy. Top me up. Not like that, you perverts. Now this boss is tricky. It is entirely RNG whether a legitimate boss or the decoy of the boss will pop out of the four holes in the wall that he's about to make. And I can only hope that he will show up. He will show up quickly, and that I can slash away behind his neck as quickly as possible. They have added a small visual cue for whether the legit boss came through or whether he's a decoy, and it's all in the eyeballs. Oh. You saw the red part behind his head. That made it legit. Oh, here we go. 8, yes! Finally got... I was at least able to one cycle once I finally yanked him out. Otherwise, he was popping out of places that... Oh, nice. Someone pointed you to a fan film and asked you to watch it. Ooh, a fan film for what? Oh, Star Wars fan film. You know, there have been some incredibly high-quality fan projects for Star Wars, so I totally understand wanting to jump at the chance for that. Okay, currently 9:06 p.m., 2 hours and 1 second into the stream, even though obviously you knock off about 20 minutes to 20 to 25 minutes based on where I actually started. Oh, really good, high-value fan film. I'm glad you had a chance to see something like that. It's pretty rare. So I'm gonna take 5. Thanks everyone who's sticking through. Famijack. It's called Bucketheads. Give it a watch sometime. Oh, it must be on YouTube, right? Or is it on Vimeo? I see a lot of things on Vimeo these days. Bucketheads, a Star Wars story, 2018 fan film on Vimeo. Here we go. It's 14 minutes. It looks like. Let's share with the class. Let's make sure everyone knows what's happening here. We all deserve a little bit more Star Wars in life. I'm a little bit more jazzed on Star Wars right now. I'm just kind of riding a wave a little bit because last Friday I went to the second in what will surely be a trilogy of symphony concerts in which you watch on a big screen A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and probably Return of the Jedi in the spring, but a live orchestra accompanies the film, and it's a really awesome way to watch it. Yeah, Famijack, it was totally worth it. I know it seems silly to pay $40 to just essentially watch a movie, but just the experience of the live symphony, I think it heightens the experience. It's pretty wonderful. But yeah, I'm gonna go take that break, refresh my beverage, refresh my body, refresh my mind, answer maybe some text messages because my phone's been blinking at me, and hopefully all goes nice and smoothly when I get back. There is Dungeon 6, 7, 8 and the Windfish's Egg, but my first order of business will be to complete the trading sequence as I now have enough items to do that. So. Hoping for the best. I will see you shortly. Okay. I have come back as quickly as possible. That might not even have been 5 minutes, but I am incredibly excited to come back here. I'm gonna fix that chat box thing. The entire chat box got wiped away, and that deserves to stick around here between scenes. I'm gonna have to go double check some settings on my end to make sure that chat stay persistent whenever I change over to the interstitial. But anyway. It's all now from here to the end. Gonna get wild, gonna get wacky, gonna get crazy. I don't want to lose my momentum. So here at 882 rupees, I imagine I will probably get to 1,000 somewhere in the process of doing the rest of this. So currently I have the hibiscus. I need to go to Animal Village so I can give it to the goat. Then once I get that to the goat, I can get her letter over to Mr. Wright. And then once I get in from Mr. Wright, I will have the broom, and then the broom I give to the old lady who will be back here in Animal Village, and then and she will give me a hook, and then I take the hook to a nearby fisherman, and then we're good to go. Letter sealed with a heart. And now I get to warp to the closest possible spot to Mr. Wright, which is unfortunately Dompe's shack. I'm not sure if it's a wise decision to schlep my way through the swamp, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because it's the shortest distance between two places here. Maybe, probably, possibly. So one thing I learned watching another streamer play this game is likes in this game are a little bit different than in their incarnations in other Zeldas. They strangely only now have a percentage chance at eating your shield. They don't reliably eat your shield every time. Nope, didn't want to play that here. Ugh. Oh, it's gonna let me. It's gonna let me warp straight out. Actually, no. There's some rupees just north of me that I want to grab. There's 70 rupees in this cave, so I'm not gonna say no. There we go, 953. I am cooking. Back down to the Animal Village. New broom? Yes. Now for the hook. Love the remix of that music to add animal noises. Really genius decision there. Just a small little touch that makes it so good. Dang it! I jumped the gun there. It's a big one, you say? Necklace. Now to just swim, swim, swim my way like the Dickens over to Martha the Mermaid. Back in the Japanese original of the Game Boy version, it looked a little bit odd when we were in the here in the English translation, in that you could only see the mermaid's head floating above the water, and it didn't make much sense because you had to retrieve of course, the scale on her tail. As it turns out, the piece that was missing in the Japanese version was her bikini top. So in the Japanese Game Boy version, you were retrieving a mermaid's bikini top. And NOA, as usual, decided that was a little bit too risque, and decided, no, let's tweak this. Let's make it the scale instead. No. One bonus thing they did here in this version of Link's Awakening is that the magnifying lens will reveal something in a house that was previously empty back in the Game Boy version. You will get a secret seashell as a result. Oh, come on! Oh, when he's stunned, you can actually sword slash him. That's new. Anyway, next up is the 6th dungeon. I have 960 rupees. 6th dungeon works best with a bow and arrow. Let's get a warp in. Let's go to Mape Village. I'll do one trendy game to get my rupee total up, because there should still be a purple rupee hiding over there. And I'll get to 980 real quick. Or I could just... Well, I could also do this. I'm next to a couple caves with chests, so that I can immediately start getting my finances ready for post-Dungeon 6 when I need to visit the signpost maze to get the 3rd Ocarina song. There's a piece of heart in that bombable wall up to the top right, so unfortunately I will not be grabbing it. There we go. And that's really cool that the wallet now in this game goes above 999. That's truly the biggest benefit to Link's Awakening on the Switch. This cave has a few more coins for me. Ah, son of a... I'm not smart. I'm not smart. I was focused on the piece of heart. That's more like it. There we go, 1062. Happily rock with that one. Just for safe measure, gonna throw in a few bombs. Don't know why I want more bombs, but I just feel like I need more bombs. Okay, next order of business. Did not mean to grab that secret seashell. I feel like there was something else I needed to do in this general vicinity, but I'm forgetting, and it's frustrating me. Might as well just make my warp over to, back over to the other side of things, so that I can get get nasty with the 6th dungeon here. And this is where the dungeons really, really, really take a turn in their difficulty, I think. Yeah, if you thought the logistics behind what you saw in the first 5 dungeons were raunchy, then it's only going to get worse from here. Much worse. Especially the Dungeon 6 forces some crazy, crazy backtracking on people. Arrgh! Meant to switch over to the... It's these dumb errors here, because I wanted to stun him, at least. And now some owl jabber. Some jibba jabba from the owl. Don't like the bonking, but sure. And I just walked past a couple secret seashells, no big deal. Great, that backfired like crazy on me, pun intended. Because I like to lay a bomb, and then it explodes while the Armos Knight is still in its vicinity. Just like that. And of course they put slimes right next to these things, which only complicates things more. And of course he had to walk right into the freaking path where I need to go. That Armos Knight just cost me some time. But anyway, we can do some quick things to... Oh man, 2.5 hearts. This is going to be kind of risky, but I kind of have to do it too. Oh. At least I have Crazy Tracy's potion. That sucked. Here I thought I could bomb arrow him to death really fast, but apparently not. And I probably cost myself a good 30 seconds in the process. Honestly, winding my way out of this situation here, not a fan of it. I'll put myself in a position to sprint to where I need to. Sprint most of the way where I need to go. A little drop down here and swimmy, swimmy, swim, swim. Yeah, actually, I do believe that would be a touch faster than leaving the proper way, so I'll take it. Ha! Got him to stand on top of the bomb. That was great. And as usual, they provide a little test of skill to make sure that you have you performed the necessary tasks to make it into the next destination. Alright, y'all, it's time for shit to get incredibly weird. Dungeon 6 is a nightmare. I think I've mostly got the routing down, aside from I don't have my execution on the crystal switches planned perfectly, so I'm going to have a couple headaches with that. I'll tell you right now. Thankfully, the path to get the level 2 power bracelet is relatively quick and easy, because nothing else in the dungeon happens until you get this. I have no safety nets, so I must now remain incredibly vigilant about hearts. I won't be able to stop for a refill on any of this until I won't be able to stop for a refill on Crazy Tracy potion until... Well, I could get it in this dungeon if I really wanted to, but I'd rather just go grab it on the way to the 7th dungeon, because I feel like I can be safe until then. And there's a fairy right here. Usually, yes. Fairy's inside the pot. Back in the original Link's Awakening, you could just lift the pot and the thing you wanted would be under it. Let me through. Let my Linky go. Let's see, is it blues down, I think is the preferred way right here. I think it is. Oh, why did that piece of power have to show up right there? Nope, it's the other way. And I like to route in a trip up here because it nets me extra coin is what it comes down to. Normally this room is skipped, but also I'm not terribly fearful of this wicked game here. There's a way through it, thankfully. There is a method to the madness. These horse heads are not what they initially seemed. There we go. Okay, orange, I think I'm good. Very nice to have those 10 bombs there. Yeah, orange, I think it was, no, it's orange. Oranges need to be down. Yeah, because the crystal indicates what's up. I forgot to flip the switch on my way out from the 100 rupee room. If I had gone up those stairs, I believe that's where the secret seashell would be. There's a similar room elsewhere in the dungeon containing there's a secret room elsewhere, and there's a similar room in the dungeon containing a way to a chest with 300 rupees, which I probably will go for at this point because that many rupees will cover me for the rest of the game. Really beautiful thing they did with this dungeon theme. You can still hear the original chiptunes behind it, and the original chiptunes were the extent of the music for this dungeon once upon a time. Whew. Nailed it. Actually, there's hella money right there, so maybe I'll just kill these wizards and hit that chest. better to hit a chest than to spend a ton of time farming later. There we go. I'll take it. 336. I am now properly paid up for Mamu. Overthinking it, getting a little too fancy there. Now this room is interesting. Used to be I would just cower in a corner and wait for these things to attack me, but no longer. I'm gonna do stuff over here. Actually, I think, yeah, this might be the 300 room. I need to start figuring out whether I need to cut this part out of my routing, but I wanted to make sure I headed up to this room in the first place. Okay, no, this is essential. I think there's a small key down this path. Yep, small key, good. Not wasting any chests. So now that I have these 2 small keys, I can route the rest of the dungeon correctly. That chest on the right side, if I take some time to maneuver, has some crazy Tracy potion. Now for this mid-boss. They tweaked his AI to be so incredibly obnoxious. Why was there another... Did you guys hear that? That additional extra for no reason door opening sound too? Damn it. Not this time. Thankfully it's only 4 hits and I know I'm getting a fairy out of this, so... Whew, that was scary. That was incredibly scary. More bombs? I'll take them. I was worried I would take some damage there. Now for these spinning blocks again. The passageway down from here is to the boss, but I still have to go grab the boss key, which is through this way. And this is possibly where you can start to see how routing this dungeon becomes incredibly problematic and obnoxious. Didn't hit that right. The key to this, the key to hitting this, is to make sure that you are 2 tiles away. This game might be in 3D, but you must still think of this game in terms of 2D squares. That is what helps you win out here. So you must be 2 tiles away and like on the seam, and then you can nail it. There is a science to it, I promise. Ah, yes, it's the room just north of here that has the 300 rupees, but I'm loaded up on cash, so I'm just gonna let it ride. Because I go down here and then a little bit to the left, and I am into... Oh yeah, this mid-boss. I kept my bomb situation decent. Yes, yes I did. No! One of you eat it. Damn it. Four. Slurp. 2, 3, 4. There we go. Feed you. And now I can feed you in one more turn. There we go. One more. And feed. Yeah, you have to keep one eye on each of them in order to be able to pull that off with any semblance of coordination. You have to like split your eyeballs. Bang. Nightmare's key, nightmare's key. Now to hop down and head back down that really terrible pathway. Still got whacked by one. Anyway, back through here. You're just going in these really obtuse loops throughout this dungeon is what it comes down to. More bombs. Because bombs are how to deal with the final boss of this dungeon. Instead of making this boss a pushover, like, I'm sure when they saw speedrunners tearing up this boss in the Game Boy version, they were really like, oh no, we have to go back and make sure that we that we redesign him completely. Oh, come on. There we go. And one thing I always find, I've started to find kind of interesting in the past couple of dungeons is how within each dungeon you will encounter an enemy that is sort of featured in the following dungeon. I'm not sure how else to entirely perfectly describe it, but like that laser enemy that I could not defeat, that I couldn't deal with right there, I will eventually be able to defeat him in the following dungeon. So the game is like being careful to make me aware of what's coming up by giving me kind of a safe way of dealing with that enemy, to let that enemy kind of marinate in my mind, so I could figure out what I need to do next time around. Alright, Facade, let's do this. Not this time. I know you don't. You're not gonna catch me in your... There we go. That wasn't too bad. Could have done better. I don't know how I could have done better, but I feel like there were definitely some missed opportunities where I could have optimized. Okay, 9:43 p.m. I've just defeated Dungeon 6. I have enough money to immediately go through to get to Dungeon 7 as quickly as possible. As long as I route the 8th dungeon well, then yeah, I'm definitely finishing this in under an hour. I picked up a couple small optimizations about Dungeon 7 that I'm going to try to put into practice here. So I need to warp to the Ukuku Prairie warp point. And once I get the Flying Rooster, I'm going to take a small detour. Because I need to go grab the boomerang. Boomerang is essential. Because I now have the money and I have the ocarina. It is time to get me some Flying Rooster action. Useless. Death to the pink spider thing. Death to it entirely, forever. I guess what's really nice about the way that I've integrated some treasure chests, there's definitely some things to clean up, but I do not have to lean upon the rapid stride to grind out rupees to get stuff done, so that's pretty nice in the grand scheme of things. I'm not making history tonight, but someday I will. Once I've got my dungeon mechanics locked in, and that's where I'll probably start trying to play with some of the save and reload warps to get back to the starts of dungeons and stuff. Maybe... Well, since I can warp, it kind of doesn't matter. The fastest way to get to where I want to go from where I am is by this Martha's Bay warp, which can put me near the spot where the boomerang happens. And I can surrender my shovel for it. Because as far as I know, I no longer need it. But I can buy the shovel back for 300 rupees, and not anything I'm going to be interested in. Toronbo Shores. And truth be told, once I get this upgrade, like there are normally 3 item upgrades that are scattered throughout the island, but I'm not even grabbing those either. Oh baby, Boomerang, you always come back to me. And now, somehow, some way, for some reason, I can open this. Don't like bonks. Anyway, now to take advantage of some further warping. This is why it's important earlier on in the game to make sure that you've done some good setups. Because the Flying Rooster's entire purpose is to get me into the 7th dungeon. You'll see in just a little bit here. Yeah, it's kind of obnoxious that you have to trek down this path like a good 3 or 4 times in this game. It's just required of you. And the owl loves to interrupt you every time you come through here. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm here. I wasted some time here. I need to make sure, because I promised myself that I was going to go get back on some of them Crazy Tracy drugs here. So I could have a nice safety net. Hopefully have enough coin. 40. Oh, wow. She raised her price in. Woo. Okay. Hopefully I don't need it, but it's nice to have as a way to get bailed out of certain situations. So now I can confidently stride my way over to the 7th dungeon. Sorry, Dampé. I know you wanted to participate in this adventure, but this is not that kind of adventure. So unless I run out of hearts again, which is entirely possible, I mean, I'm full of bad luck as it is. I don't need to spend money on anything else in the game, thankfully. I've gotten all the rupees I need. I've made all my major purchases. I don't need to buy back my shovel. It's all good. What I will do, just on general principle, and just in case, is 50 rupees hiding here. So thank you, Flying Rooster, for making that easy to grab. And I'm going to swim right over a secret seashell. And that chest contains another one. There's like 4 or 5 secret seashells in this general vicinity. Wait, that was a brain fart right there, because I needed to go up here. Because I need to get the key for the 7th dungeon, and it's hiding behind a very large chasm. Screw pushing boulders. I'm just gonna fly. Third key. And that's it. The entire purpose of the Flying Rooster has been completed. I resurrected a legendary animal from his grave, and that was his ultimate purpose. You know, now that I've resurrected him, I'm going to be killing him, you know, in about another 40 minutes here. I still have a fairy in my bottle, too, just because I'm thinking about the fairy fountain that I'm going to pass in just a moment, and how I want to deal with, with future life restoration. Alright, spin this thing around. Like, imagine rigging up this lock and key mechanism. Okay, routing in this dungeon is a plain nightmare, and I'm hoping that I won't have as many mental glitches as I've had in the past. Because one can stick themselves into some very, very strange places and have to pick apart where they are in the sequence. The crux of this dungeon involves knocking down 4 pillars to erase the 3rd floor. The 4th floor is completely inaccessible until the 3rd floor is destroyed. So here on the 2nd floor, we crush the pillars that hold up the 3rd floor. The dungeon collapses on itself nice and neatly. And I know it's looking weird, like I'm going to be skipping past that pillar, but there's a method to this madness. Oh, this is scary. There we go. Opens up that portal down there. So now, those things don't matter to me. There are a separate set of those guys who matter to me, though. Blue down, that's the way to go. Make sure I have a small key obtained by killing this Hinox, and then I have to do some setups for later. One, two, three, four. Important part is making sure that chest appears. The game will remember that chest belongs there throughout the rest of my time in this dungeon, because I need to be able to hookshot to that chest later. And going to grab. And this key's only real purpose is to make sure that I can grab the mirror shield from here. Now, back in the original, there was a handy little shortcut that could be done with the boomerang. The geometry of the level allowed you to do a diagonal boomerang throw that let you grab the mirror shield as soon as you got here to the 2nd floor. They fixed that, to say the least. This is the last room I want to fall in, so I'm wondering, I'm debating my placement here on whether I actually want to do anything but hide in this corner to guarantee myself. I know it makes the blocks take a little bit of extra time, but at the, you know, I'd rather not put myself in a position to fall like a complete idiot. So I'll push this. Actually, while that's there, clear some way for later. Oh, not that. Dang it! I hate that they placed the bow and arrow next to the hook shot because it's easy to like crisscross them in your mind and hit the wrong one by accident. So I get to drop this over here, and then intentionally fall down, and then come back up. Because otherwise I'm kind of blocked from where I was. Actually, I have to come up, yeah. Because of the way that the second floor works, I have to come up from the other side. I have to come up from these stairs again. So, blue down, good. Because, yeah, the setup for getting the ball to the fourth pillar is ridiculous. This game is just bonkers. Gotta throw it over there. I hate these things so much. Especially the squeaky sound effects they added to it, even more obnoxious. So, having done that, I can now come back up here. And, like, there's like at least half the dungeon that I'm just not even participating in right here, which is the most fun part to me about this dungeon. I think there's like a single rupee in that chest. They wanted to kind of drive it home. The purpose of that chest is purely for hookshotting. Okay, cool. So that's been done. Time to fall down one more time. And make my way back upstairs one more time. I hope I managed my bollards correctly. Blue down. Yes, blue down is good. Blue down is very good. Except for this part, of course. But then it becomes imperative to hit this again, because otherwise going upstairs would be... I did it to myself. I played myself in the reverse direction here. I'm so embarrassed. Okay, mid-boss must be defeated now, and I don't know what it is about this mid-boss, but I can never one-shot him like I used to back in the day. I'm just gonna keep swiping and hope for the best is what it comes down to. Oh, bless. I've had very many bad encounters with that boss. Now there's a crystal switch there, but I don't even need to worry about crystal switches anymore. Let's go straight to the boss now. Intended mechanic, the Goomba always drops a heart if you jump on it. Oh, Got a little excited there. They added that hazard of the spikes on the side. Yeah, he's not going to fight me directly. He's got another crony for the job. And I really love when they intentionally keep the chip tunes around sometimes. There we go. Pretty quick kill. Now, I'm gonna download this and edit it later, but the part that I find the most interesting now is that I've just cleared the 7th dungeon, and I've only been live for 3 hours. So assuming I can get a fast clear on the 8th dungeon, yeah, I'm definitely, I feel like I'm gonna clock in at maybe 320 on this run, which will be a personal best. Ocarina. The music of the ocarina leads. Now I can do the warp back over to Dumpe and start making my way over to the juicy part that gets me to Dungeon 8 and an important plot point with Marin. Being able to kill all 3 of those moblins in one go really just brings me a lot of joy. Back here again. Oh wait. Yeah, back here again. Oops. I've got to retrace this path one more time. He said, "Doot." There's a secret seashell hiding in that hole that was just below me, using a mechanic that does not show up really anywhere else in the game. There are 2 secret seashells in this game that involve chucking a bomb down a hole, and that wasn't in the original, so it was just totally unexpected. She's got that look on her face like, oh no, did I just blow my last chance? Really rude to stop me for just slicing open a bush. Now there's a secret seashell up and to the right, hiding behind that moldorm, so I'm not going to do anything with it. There's an item upgrade hiding under that rock, but I'm feeling so damn sassy right now that I think I'm going to skip past it. The item upgrade being the quantity of certain items that I can carry. I think I'm actually doing okay in the grand scheme of things. With 10 bombs, I should have little to no issue clearing the 8th dungeon here. But you know, better safe than sorry, especially because I need a couple of bombs to deal with the entrance of the 8th dungeon. These pterodactyl guys here. I wonder how many bomb arrows can I get away with here. I'm going to try one. Ooh. Totally get away with them here. Don't care. It was worth taking the damage. So now I just need, I don't want to accidentally waste arrows, so let's do this. Now it's just a matter of hack and slash. There we go. 3 cycles, not too shabby. And a fairy, so I can start this dungeon fresh. Okay, now that I've just entered this dungeon, tiny restroom break. My apologies, but we're going to wrap this up fairly soon, probably within the next 20-30 minutes. Oh, this is exciting. This is very exciting. Oh, come on. The less you move, the more likely he is to charge, I think. There we go. Screw it, I'll take the hit. Now, something crazy that I saw in the any % world record run is a way to somehow, and I don't even know what the setup is, to manipulate this Hinox into throwing you into the boss's room, basically, and you just grab the instrument and go. It's incredibly wild. And yet again, this machine here, it's you still have to think of this as a Game Boy game, essentially. At least that's the way that it helps that you can still play this game with complete muscle memory, and it responds exactly how you want it to. Another familiar mid-boss here. But the game still thinks... There's still an element of the game that thinks in tiles. So you don't think of this game as a 3D space, you think of it as broken up into squares, and that's how the game keeps track of the position of things and whether something... and whether you're encountering something you can interact with. Oh, ow! Ooh, he almost put me in a hole. Oh, jeez. You know what? This dude's distracting me. Come on. Come at me, bro. Come at me. A heart from an energy blast? I haven't seen that before. There we go. Okay, I've done all I need to do in this corner of the dungeon. So the crux of this dungeon is 2 small keys and then 3 small keys. And knowing how to get to them efficiently is what really matters here. Oh, Jesus. That was irresponsible of me. Because I had the level 2 sword, I can just single slash those guys. A staircase, which will take me to the part of the dungeon that I need to go. Now I missed the cycle on this, so I have to wait for it to come back for me. I ain't afraid of you, but I am afraid of this boss coming back to bite me again. Urgh, I hate it so much. And it's not like you can bait it or anything into it. Like, it has this very methodical way of chucking the ball at you. Like, you can't just drift close to it and trigger it to make a bad throw. It makes really good throws most of the time. Yeah, you flop around, you weird little blobby thing. Okay, now to get another small key and set up for later. And it's actually really cool that that thing has this little thing here is a that this, you know, affectionately call it the Roomba. I think I was watching Nina Lee stream and it was affectionately labeled the Roomba, so I will steal that. But the light source shines upon this this bombable wall here, and that switch is something to be dealt with a little bit later. Huh, this is actually a really sound pathway through this area. I kind of dig it. That it's almost like that bombable wall is, those 2 bombable walls are an intended route. Very interesting. But now that I have 2 small keys, I can get to the next segment of the dungeon, wherein I collect 3 small keys. And then there's 1 small key, but we don't talk about that 1 small key. But you are basically going around in like a crazy figure 8 through this dungeon. It's pretty wacky. Ah, yes. Good bomb supply. Good bomb supply. That wall that I'm bombing, won't go through it yet, but it has a purpose later. See, this is what I get for trying to be too clever, and... there we go. There's 1 small key. Next small key is in this room, but I cannot fight those guys directly right now. And I'll show you why later. So I have to burn that small key to make my way in this general direction. Really hope I can knock this out in the with the 16 bombs I have in my pocket right now. You know, just for kicks here, I'm gonna activate that. I technically didn't need to, but you know what? I'm feeling a little paranoid right now because I must fight these guys from up here, and that is scary to say the least. Because of course you can only come at them from certain angles. 2, 3, 4. Ugh. That was a bad call. I can hit this one though. And yes! 2, 3, 4. Ooh, please move that way. Dang it. Ah! Oh, thank you for that. How do I want to hit this one? Yes! Yeah, precision bomb chucking. Not something that anyone really wants to do. Okay, so this is the first of the three of the group of 3 small keys that I want to collect here, and I guess I don't have any. I don't deserve those fairies, possibly because I'm mostly good on health. There will be some bomb pickups later, but that's okay. There's no kill requirement in this room, so I'm not even going to deal with the energy, but let me deal with these dudes here. Because I have to... Yep, gotta hit that. And grab that small key. At least this is the route I know best. Maybe there's another route in this dungeon, but I don't care to learn it. This is what feels most optimized to me right now, and any other optimizations I could eventually make, sure, I'll make them. But for now, this is my best bet for getting through this dungeon the way that I need to. So now that I have 3 small keys, I can now traverse to the mid-boss. But before getting to this mid-boss, he requires just a little bit of setup in order to not be obnoxiously infuriating, to say the least. Now, since I entered and came back into the dungeon, how do I want to hit this mid-boss? How do I want to hit that crystal? I think I'll play it safe. This is where the routing is a little bit gunked up for me, because making sure that I can route that crystal hit is crucial. Because if you do not tap this crystal before fighting the mid-boss, you're not going to have a good time. I always feel like, can I push this up? Can I push either of these? Okay. Because I have to cross the lava again. So I can get back to the wall that I bombed earlier. And you will quickly see why 3 keys are necessary. Let me fill up on bombs again while I'm here. If it's only going to take 3 or 4 seconds, better safe than sorry. So, first and foremost, this dark room, don't need to illuminate it. I have just enough light here, but 1 key down. And I will eventually have to use the next room to come back and make it to that keyhole. Now, something that I learned while watching another run, something I neglect frequently, is that bombable wall is very helpful for certain routing situations. Maybe I will use it later. But for now, yeah, I wanted to just open it as a courtesy to myself. And I'm going to be patient with the cycles on these floating platforms. I said patient. Yep, okay. I'm well equipped. But yeah, hitting that switch was so that those blue bollards could be down. Now I have to be very careful with this boss. Whoa! Woo! That almost felt like a soft lock. That was scary. Yeah, when he winds up hardcore like that, he could punt you out of the room. Ah, I'm trying to be too clever here by hitting him with by trying to hit him with roundhouse hits when I really just need to be going for regular sword slashes here. There we go. See how much things loosened up once I got my head out of my own ass. So now that I have this, I can go collect one last small key. It's off to the west side of the dungeon. And with that one small key, I can hit the mid-boss, which gives me the boss key, which then lets me finally take the path to the boss key. So back to the west side of the dungeon I go, as long as Vire lets me. This dungeon was a lot worse back in the original Game Boy version when those mid-bosses would keep respawning. Now the dungeon thankfully remembers that you killed these mid-bosses. No remorse. Those ropes have to burn. Yeah, they're not called snakes or anything close to that. They're called ropes. Back to this lava field. That chest over there has the dungeon map in it, which I, of course, do not need. So, first order of business is to start flexing this magic wand. Oops. And now this guy again, Mr. Big Butt. Oh my god, Zelda, look at her butt. It is so big. She must be one of those Ganon guy's girlfriends. There we go. Took a little damage. It was worth it for a fairly fast kill. I'm just up to my eyeballs in fairies here. This is delightful. I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, but I feel like I'm having my best Dungeon 8 so far, like ever. I am crushing this fucking routing. Why don't I just actually do this time, because I have to get back to the lava room anyway, which is near the entrance. So long, fire. Now to the boss room. This room sucks. There's nothing, no bones about it. This room is terrible. Like, it's truly deserving of the road to the boss in the final dungeon, because it's obnoxious. Oh! I was hoping I could get a 2-for-1 deal like I did with when I hit it from here. But I just have to be really good at timing. I feel like the timing on this ice puzzle was much easier than the original. But here it is, boss time. This boss was a pushover in the original, now not so much. His movements are a lot more chaotic, and he no longer has any stun lock behavior, so you have to really, really be on him. Now he's just gonna go extra crazy. There we go. Wow, that might be one of the best bosses. That might be one of the best Dungeon 8 bosses I've ever had. Alright, well, we're in the final stages here. There's maybe about 10 minutes of this run left, so thanks for sticking with me. You've all been wonderful, you've all been delightful, but now I just need one quick pit stop back in Maid Village, and so I can know the way to get through the Windfish's egg. Why am I brain farting? Currently thinking about any of the other supplies that the final boss might need, and coming up short. As long as I have some Crazy Tracy's cream, which I do on the far left side of this room, or this screen, then I'm good. I just need to make my way to the library, and this game is a wrap. The one evil-looking book out of all of them. Go figure. Round and round, the passages of the egg. Right, up, right, up, left, up. Right, up, right. Up, left, up. Okay, got it down. Let's rock. The Dampe Shack warp, the most important warp in the entire damn thing. So I'm currently at about 3.5 hours on the stream. Minus the, like, 24, minus the, like, I don't know, 8 minutes of total breaks, and the fact that the game didn't actually start until, like, 23 24 minutes into the stream. Yeah, looks like I'm gonna be sitting at about a 3:10. I'll be very happy to finally chop this up and see what my actual time would end up looking like. Moment of silence for the Windfish's ballad. Oh my god. Thank you, Raid. Thank you, Raid, for letting me know about my mic. Oh my god, I've been talking here so much. I muted it for the Windfish's ballad, and... oh man, I'm so embarrassed. Thank you, Raid. Thanks for popping in here, having a look at my stream. Currently, I have been up for... well, I'm about to call time here in about a minute. My stream's only been up for 3 hours, 37 minutes, and here's the end. I feel like even the best of us do the mic thing. Even though I literally have an LED back here that is in my peripheral vision, letting me know when my when I'm muted. So that's even more embarrassing, and that'd be time. So right, yeah, you're just in time to see the no deaths ending of Link's Awakening here. So if you're a fan of the game but you've not ever had a chance to complete it without deaths, this has been done, and looks like if I were to total up my breaks here, if I had done this in a single segment, I'm probably hitting at about the 3 hours 20 minutes range. So I'll call this a PB. So yeah, raid me out. I will. I'll give you a follow. I'm going to be doing a raid here shortly, just because, well, the purpose of the stream is over. But I just wanted to let the ending of the game flow through here and soak it in. And yeah, you're an experienced streamer too, but still you have, you have your microphone issues too. I've only been streaming for, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 months total, so I need to make sure that I'm sharp on those things. So thanks for popping in, thanks for saying hello, thanks for everyone who lurked, who did their part to make sure that I stayed encouraged throughout all of this. This has been my strongest Zelda run yet. I know that if I had cleaned up some of the weird little execution issues, I could probably have figured out a way to knock another 5 minutes off this. So, all in all, a pretty good situation. And now I'm going to be mindful of my mute button, but I wanted to let this end credits breathe here a little bit. I don't have an actual final time, but if I wanted to total up the fact that the game didn't start until about 24 minutes into my stream, 24 minutes plus the plus the 5-minute break and then the little 2 restroom breaks. If I snip those out, if I wanted to try to cram this all into a single segment, it actually looks like I'm sitting at a little bit under 3 hours 20 minutes, which I'm feeling quite proud of tonight. Because yeah, the stream has been live for 3 hours 41 minutes, so yeah, that might actually be like 3:15. Wow. Yeah, I might call that a 3:15 estimate right now, and later on I'll download the stream and chop it up and see what time I actually came in at, if I wanted to make sure that I snipped out all the pauses. Future streams, I'll make sure that I integrate a stopwatch kind of thing down in the space below the game. But yeah, overall feeling pretty proud about this situation. So yeah, Famijack, had some of your retro spirit fueling me through this. Oh, I love that breakdown so much, more than words. Yeah, thanks, Padoka Gaming. You were part of it too. Yeah, about 3 hours, 15 minutes. Yeah, I'll try to get an official count and I'll post it. But yeah, this, I think tonight was the first time I ever, like, because in the past I had broken it into pieces, first half, second half, but this time I did it like all as one cohesive bit, and it came out even better than I thought it would. And here's the no deaths part. Definitely brought a tear to my eye a couple times, but I've since played this enough to get over it. So, you know what? Sure, I'll save to 1. Not that it matters. Okay, started at 2249. See, okay, saved at 2249. Yeah, I can't use that as a reliable time or anything. Just knowing that the save was at 10:49, and I'll have to go back and check some of my own timestamps to see when I actually started it, which I think I started it at probably something like 7:24 p.m. About 7:24 to 7:28 p.m. once I worked out all of my technical glitches that came up for seemingly no reason. But yeah, Famijack, Padoka Gaming, Raid Me Yard, thank you for welcome to the channel. Still a small thing. BGR001, I see you lurking. Gonna give you some props. Same for you, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Thanks for popping in here. I had to make sure I spied a little bit on the chat members list, so thanks for everyone who stopped by. I think I'm gonna go do a raid. There's an excellent Metroidvania being played by my dude McQueeb. It's called Noita, and yeah, I think I'm gonna go join in on him. So I'm gonna play myself out here. It's been delightful continuing to learn more and more about this game with you guys. So I'm going to keep doing more. I'm going to keep getting better, and I wish the best for you. I'll see you guys on Friday night for something I hope to be special, assuming I can actually buy a copy of the game that I want. So, thanks for everything again, you guys. Have a good night.